Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Single Chronicles. I am your girl, R.S. Lewis, aka Insomniac Writer, and today, while we're not really talking about dating and singles and stuff, we're going to be talking about something that's still important. Pertains, I have an opinion on it, and that's about this whole thing with Lizzo and Aries Spears, and the problem I actually have with the body positive movement. Yeah, I got an issue with both sides. I'm a free thinker, and yeah, we're going to talk about this shit today, y'all. We're going to did it right here, right now, on the Single Chronicles. So if you're new here, make sure you heart, save, share this podcast wherever, you're listening to, whatever podcast service. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share these videos, get that algorithm, the juices flowing, all that good stuff for everyone else. Welcome to the Single Chronicles. Hey. Okay, Lizzo. That's my girl, y'all. I love me some Lizzo. My daughter first put me onto her a little while back. My daughter was listening to her first, and she put me onto her music, because my daughter's into musicals, singers. My daughter like all kinds of music, and she put me deep. Since then, I've played a few Lizzo songs in my Zumba class. I blasted it in my car. That's my girl right there. I love her. I love her talent. I love the fact even more so that she is musically gifted. Like, she can actually play an instrument. I know she plays the flute for sure, but I'm sure she could probably play some other instruments, preferably wind instruments. That being said, I'm like, okay, Lizzo, you got skill. And I love that about her. That is just a dope thing to me. I love musicians that just don't get in the studio and just like they play an instrument. My mom played instrument. She played the piano. She could play the organ. She could play other instruments as well. But just the fact, I've always been amazed and mesmerized. I tried drums. It didn't work. It just didn't work. I could play a few tunes here and there, keep a little rhythm going. But that shit was just trash. Anyway, back to this. So, Lizzo, she's a big girl, obviously. She's gotten teased a lot throughout her career. I follow her on Instagram, and I've noticed that throughout, her posts, sometimes she would go live. I remember one time she got on live and she was eating like Doritos or Cheetos, some junk food, and she just had this look like, I'm not happy. She didn't say anything. When you get on live, you're waiting for people to get in before you actually say something. She just felt sad. And then she said some stuff, and then that was that. Then she had another one where she literally was just crying. Now, I know the extent of having a nervous fucking breakdown. I've had a few myself. You just get overwhelmed with shit, and the emotion hits your face. So I know that this girl, as young as she is, and I know it hits her. And bullying is just not cool. Like, the one thing I've always said is that if I ever get famous for any of the shit that I do, I have to ask myself, am I ready for it? Like, I get shamed and bullied. Mofos get on my shit and say some shit. They comment some hating ass shit. You know what I mean? Like, it comes with the territory. When you put yourself out there, you put yourself at risk for ridicule as well as admiration. They're not everybody gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna respond to you. Not everyone's going to, love you, all that good stuff. And you're just gonna get hate for it. You're gonna get flack for it. It is what it is. And I know that. And I'm nowhere near famous as Lizzo, obviously. But I put content out there, and I understand. Going back to this, Aries Spears was on an interview, and it got to trending. It's still fucking trending. He got on an interview and talked about Lizzo when asked, what do you think about Lizzo? She, because she popping right now. She got one of the #1 tracks in the city, in the world right now. About Damn Time. That's the song that's popping on that album. I think what's the name of that album? The album is definitely, the video is cute too. The video is very, very cute. But Lizzo got the world popping, and then Beyonce came out with her album, and now that's You won't break my soul. Like, women, we got the empowerment thing. That is so fucking awesome. I love, this is the age to be a fucking woman. I'm sure at some point when we started having like bouts, little spurts of liberation and freedom and all that other stuff, it was like, it's a great time to be a woman. It's a great time to be black. Like Black Pride in the 70s. We're calling men out on their bullshit. We're holding them accountable for their toxicity. We're holding, and that's great. But we need to do the same within our fellow women, and not just the ones that cater to male, toxic masculinity. And that's one of the things that Aries Spears pointed out in his interview. Now, do I agree with everything he said about Lizzo? Literally every word? No, I think he went a little far. But then he talked about himself. Saying that she looked like shit, like, and all this other stuff. Now, that was extra. Like, some stuff was literally kind of extra, but he made very valid points. And I'll get to those in a second. Now, I know when editing videos, as a content creator myself, you edit some stuff. You edit stutters, this, that, repetitive things. Like, if you're listening to this podcast and you turn around and listen to it on YouTube, there are going to be some things that are edited out. It's going to be a few minutes shorter. Sometimes if I'm really not being lazy, I edit out a lot of stuff. Then there are times where I'm like, you know what, fuck it. And I just put it out there. So I'm sure some stuff got edited out for, time purposes or whatever. However, it did seem like when homie asked him about Lizzo and her music, he went to her weight. So that was like, now if he would have led with the fact, then he later on talked about how she's a great artist, blah, 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 fine. Now, if he would have said something like my daughter, as like I said, who introduced me to Lizzo, who likes her, who would consider herself kind of a fan too, she even said some of her stuff isn't like it was when she first got turned on to her. So a lot of the stuff that Lizzo is like more mainstream, more popish, more, my daughter likes people that have like a unique sound to them, and her sound kind of has changed over the years, and that's naturally so most artists aren't going to sound the same. Plus my daughter's one of the type of people, she like to be the only one to like some shit. So when everybody else start liking it, she don't want to like it no more. And as you're like, damn, I put everybody on, I don't even want to hear no more. Now y'all ruining a song that I used to like. You know what I mean? It's like one of those, when a hit that you like becomes a single, now you got to hear the shit every day. Now you don't want to hear it no more. And that used to be your jams. Like Drake, for example. Drake is not the Drake when he first came out. Like, he still did the kind of rap singing thing every now and again, here and there. But his sound has changed. Even that song he got with Lil Baby, and I'm not a Lil Baby fan, he kind of bodied him. Like, It's been other instances where rappers collab with somebody, and then the rapper that's collabing sound better than the person whose album it actually is. So that happens, whatever. Artists change. However, I can see if he went with that. Like, yeah, I like her sound when she first came out. I felt she was more authentic. Now I think she's just, and that is a clear cut, answer to the question and staying on topic of that question. Then he could have led on to the body positive shit he hates and the fact that, whatever. He could have led into that. But you started out with that. So actually, that is something that you've been holding on to for so long, and you've been waiting for the right moment. And because Lizzo, this is actually good for the both of them, to be honest with me, because now they're both being talked about. And then there are people who really don't know anything about Lizzo besides the fact she's a black singer who's plus size. That's it. They might know that much, if that. I don't know who don't know about Lizzo, but there are some people that right now, because of this instance, might actually be listening to her songs just to kind of get a feel for who she is as an artist. So that's that part. The next thing is that, he brought up something about her being half naked at the Lakers game, her ass out with thong. And even if Beyonce would have wore that, a lot of people have said that if Beyonce would have wore that, they would have been like, oh, that's Beyonce, because her body is aesthetically more accepting, thinner bodies, whatever. It's like, okay, she wore it fine. And the assumption is that if Beyonce would have worn that, it wouldn't have gotten as much flack. But, on the same side that what Aries Spears said, he was just like, basically, if she would have worn it, that's not classy, that's a game. Like, don't get me wrong, both artists have worn some risque shit. But a Lakers game, you just go in t-shirt, jeans, and you just chill. Like, first of all, ew, them nasty ass seats. Now, she probably had the good seats. So, $1 million other rich booties have sat in those seats that her naked skin is in. But this was right before COVID. Literally 2019, the end of 2019. This is when this incident happened at the Lakers game. So it's now September of 2022. You've been holding on to this, and I'm not sure what he might have said back then, but you are saying something now. And at that time, she was on a hype, like she was on a wave, because I think what was that song? Truth Hurts. You know, yeah, that's my jam too. I got tired of that because they kept playing it. But anyway, the point is that at that time, Lizzo was, you know, she was trending. And she showed up to the game very inappropriate. Kids, and people do that shit a lot. This is a conversation that I had with someone else, you know, not to get off topic, with the naked bike ride that they had this past, like last week or the week before. You know, yeah, it's to promote environmental, you know, don't drive your car, fossil fuels, you know, air pollution, yada, yada, yada. Okay, bam, it's a good cause. Even body positivity, good cause. But this is a little bit much, because they literally drove around damn near the entire fucking city. From one part of, like, what is considered, Fairmont Park, Art Museum area, North Philly, technically the nice part of North Philly, all the way to South Philly. Literally, almost around the entire city. And that was a bit much. Now, I'm not going to get into the conversation that I had with someone about that particular thing, but personally, like I said, somebody who cares about the environment, I was like, yeah, it's extra. I said it was extra a couple years ago when they first did it. I'm like, yo, why is y'all riding the bike? But whatever. Anyway, back to this. Lizzo, Aries. So he said a lot of mean things. He said she looked like the poop emoji, you know, diabetes, this, da, 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 da. He's a diabetic. So I guess it's like him pointing the finger at himself. Like, there was a lot of projection into what he said as a plus size, unhealthy man. Yeah, I'm sure he's gotten his health up a little bit, but the things he said felt like a projection, and it felt like he was holding on to that emotion he experienced when she was at that game. However, you throw dirt at people, you got to realize people start to digging. We live in this cancel culture, and I'm going to talk about that too briefly. You can't throw dirt out and not dish it. He went, he clapped back, he took it. Now there's this new thing trending about him and Tiffany Haddish. Now they done pulled her in and about some child thing. I don't know. I got to look more into it. But now they're talking about some child endangerment, pornography. I don't know. But it's trending. It's because he's trending. So now people, when shit like this goes down, people start digging. You can't be defensive when you put out that energy, or you put out something like that about someone, regardless of what it is. You can't be upset. Prime example, when Dave Chappelle and the trans community, they was going at it. Me personally, I started more on the side with Dave Chappelle, because I didn't feel that he said anything offensive. Now, I'm not a trans person. However, I am a woman. I am a person of color. I am a minority. And I agreed with, there's another comedian, she's going to come to my name, but she's a trans woman. She's a comedian. She had 2 dogs in her. She's like, I'm a trans woman, you know, I'm black, I'm a comedian. She was like, I got multiple dogs in this race, you know, and she sided, because it's like, all right, we're getting to the point now we can't say anything. I've gotten flagged, reported, hit with community guideline violations on TikTok, on Instagram, and it'll be for some shit that ain't even deep. Like the other day I posted something, I reposted something, and it said about these male spiders that do some bullshit to female spiders. They trick them, they roll up trash in the web to kind of still mate with them, or they tear up their webbing and do some toxic. I was like, oh wow, men are toxic in other species, or some shit that I said to that extent. Boom, somebody reported it, got well, you know, one of them guys that think I hate men. And this shit happens a lot. So we are living in a world where you got to kind of walk on eggshells of what you say about certain communities. And that's just how it is. Now, like I said, I have multiple dogs in the races out there. I'm a female. I'm black. I am not heterosexual. I am a queer person. I identify as pansexual. People ask me, well, she says she not straight with this. I am identifying. I am saying, putting it out there because people ask me all the fucking time, even though I used to say I was bi. I never wear it on my sleeve because it's like, what the fuck does that have to do with whatever? We be talking about anything. We talk about Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, you go, so you dating men or women? Like, damn, like, why does that gotta come up? What is the obsession? So anyway, that's that. Point is that with me being in the LGBTQ community and being a person of color and being a woman, you know, having all these intersectional things going on, I can relate. Being plus size, I am not a skinny chick. Yes, I'm into fitness, but I'm not skinny. And that's the reason why I do have a problem with a lot of this stuff that's going on right now. What Aries Spears said, again, if he would have answered the question up front, we wouldn't be having, I would still really side with him. I don't fully side with him. I love his comedy. His comedy is not for everybody. Certain comedians still stick to their niche and they say what the fuck they gonna say, and it is what it is. You just got to deal with it. This is basically what I said. In this case, he did go out of his way to say some hurtful things about her. But when he's at his comedy shows, you know the type of nigga, you know the type of person he is. So why would you go? Like, people, like the one guy that tried to attack Dave Chappelle at his show, he was like, yeah, like he's gay or bi or whatever. And you knew that this man has made quote unquote homophobic statements before that you feel some type of way, which I never felt some type of way about, but whatever. Why would you go? Why do you put yourself in the place of somewhere where you're going to be triggered or offended? That part I don't understand. Going forward, I've had that recently happen. Like somebody, like going back to that naked bike race, somebody was like, I like how gay people are able to ride butt ass naked, but I can't put my dick, I can't send a chick a dick pic or I'm a pervert. What? Now, that is problematic because you're going out of your way to say that to a person within the LGBTQ community. And what you're saying is based off an opinion that you have of how you feel, but it's not actual fact. The fact of the matter is, yes, Lizzo is very plus size and she puts herself out there very risque. So I got risque shit out there. I teach a fucking twerk class. And up until very recently, I never really promoted it as heavily because I don't want to put that content out there all the time, because some motherfuckers out there either going to be perverted or they're going to have some shit that's going to hurt my feelings, and I know it's going to hurt my feelings, so I don't want to be bothered. And then you got the people in between that's really supportive or whatever, and that's like, cool. That being said, I don't like really putting it out there, but you know, I'm getting comfortable in my skin, so I do sometimes to an extent. So I got to be careful of that. Lizzo is the same thing, but hers is just on a grander scale. Moving along. When I told the person that the people that put that organization together, because it was like, oh yeah, they're on South Street, where all the, you know, queer people go, you see some emo, grunge people, you see a little bit of everything on South Street. I said, just because they're gay and they're naked in South Street doesn't mean they're gay. I go and look at the thing didn't even start, it had nothing to do with equality. It's the environmental people, and the people that started the person that actually wanted to spearheaded that event is heterosexually involved with another person of the opposite sex. So that is a homophobic thing, because you are implying that because they're doing something that you feel is not right or not cool, you're going to label them gay. That's the problem. Here he was saying about how women don't always empower. We enable each other, and men do it too. We all do it. We enable some shit. When people hear that word, they think about just drugs and alcohol. You know, you enable the behavior. You know your cousin is a crackhead, but you let him in the house and they stole some shit. You know your homie is an alcoholic and you invited him out to a bar. So that's enabling. But we don't think about the other types of enabling that we do. When our friends are partaking in unhealthy behavior and unhealthy habits, instead of saying, yo, you know what, you might not want to eat that because you know, me personally, I don't jump on the weight wagon. I tell people, don't eat this because it's going to cause this, and that in your body. Boom. Weight gain, weight loss is just a offset of changing your lifestyle or whatever. Like I tell people all the time, don't fucking eat dairy. I stopped eating dairy and I stopped eating meats and different like processed foods and stuff. I was always active. That wasn't a problem. But when I stopped eating a lot of processed bullshit and a lot of this fucking trash ass meat, and I'm not talking about high cut grade A shit, but just I stopped red meat. I never really ate pork because I went kosher years and years and years ago. Same with shellfish. Now I do jump on the vegan bandwagon only because it's easier. Because when I say I'm pescatarian, people are like, "What's that?" So I'll say vegetarian or vegan or whatever. I prefer to say that because then I know you only gonna cook in there some shit I don't want. But the point is that I am not vegan because I still wear Jordans and Air Forces and shit like that. Vegans ain't going for that type shit. So you say it for ambiguity purposes, but the point is that when I started doing all that eating better, I lost 25 pounds. And of that 25 pounds, another 25 pounds that I had gained over COVID. So total 50 pounds lost, but 25 of that was just shit that I had gained since my little weight loss I had back in 2017, 2018. So anyway, you can tell somebody about healthiness and being healthy without coming off as fat phobic or whatever the words you want to use. And I say this to say that the whole body positivity thing and the mindset is very problematic in itself. What Aries Spears said basically he held up a mirror to a lot of people and their triggers. He projected his shit onto Lizzo, and now they're doing it. Now, what Lizzo did when she said, "I stay winning," that was a cool cutback because she didn't really acknowledge everything, that she could have started talking and taking jabs, or your kids is this, or you ain't shit. Start taking like little personal stabs at people. But she didn't. She just said, "I'm winning. I just got an award." And she's gotten other awards. I'm sure she's going to get more in the future. But at the same time, the crazy thing about it is that Lizzo has posted herself working out, trying to get a little fit, wearing shapers and different things of that nature, and trying to do somewhat good. But the crazy thing about it, and nobody wants to talk about this, when she started doing the weight loss thing and really kind of getting into it, and that was really, I think, mostly because COVID, everybody was like, "Oh my God, COVID is killing the fat people. Let me lose some fucking weight." When that happened, she started working out. Guess what the fuck happened? And this is why I have a problem with this fucking movement. The body positive people came at her. And they've come at a lot of fucking shit. They've come at me, not on that hype level, but they were like, "Oh, you're betraying us. You're triggering us." I think Tess Holiday is another one. I love her. Her fucking tat that she got on the side of her that shit is hot. It's a mermaid and it's dope if you ever. Anyway, I remember it was this girl that was also big in a body positive moment. She was losing weight and she was like, "I'm sorry, I have to unfollow you because you're triggering me." Because see, now the thing about it is that instead of preaching, I'm comfortable in my skin and that I can be fit at any size, I still want to be active, I still want to have some semblance of life, I still love me. Now, you went from that to you pulled it into a toxic area where now you got to maintain an unhealthy lifestyle because you've committed to it. You've told people that this shit is okay, when in actuality, it's not. It is not okay to have a BMI that's like 40 or 50 or whatever. It's not okay to be morbidly obese. And I'm saying this as someone who's still technically considered fucking obese. It is not okay. Type 2. And I'm not saying because you're plus size, you are guaranteed to get type 2 diabetes. My mother got type 2 diabetes, and she about 100 pounds lighter than I am. Okay? It's not about the weight. I'm not saying it because I know plenty of skinny. But one of my closest girlfriends, she's about a size 8. I think the biggest she's probably been in her life is a size 12. She has type 2 diabetes. She told me about last year. She's like, "Yeah, I'm a diabetic now." I'm like, "How the hell did that happen?" So it's not even about the size. You can get one of my closest friends. He has his college roommate. He's a diabetic. My man goes to the gym every day. He cut. Got little muscles. Got the six-pack. You wouldn't know that he has it. And he wasn't fat or big or anything. He was very active. It's about what you're putting in your body. What happens is your body is unable to break down all that fucking sugar. Sugar's fucking bad for you. Just bad for you is dairy. Actually, it's worse than dairy and meat. That was the first thing I cut out of my diet. I'm not saying I don't have no sugar. But when pumpkin spice season came up, I was like, all right, no, I want the pumps. I just get 2 pumps. I don't need 7 of them. Big ass cups, 7 fucking sugary pumps of pumpkin spice. No, that is fucking unhealthy. And that's the problem that I have with society. We just do unhealthy shit, and then when people tell us the shit ain't healthy, oh, you're fat shaming. I ain't say nothing about being fat. I just said the amount of sugar in that cup is not good for you. It is not good for your kidneys. Your kidneys cannot flush all that sugar out of your body in a 24-hour period or a certain amount of time. And that's not going to be the only thing. You probably going to get a donut or a bagel or you're going to get eggs with some bacon. You're going to get something else. And there's sugar and other shit. Shit, you might even just get fruit. There's sugar in that. Now your body has to break that shit down. You're putting your body at distress. And that's what happens because now your insulin levels is all fucking crazy because all this fucking sugar you got in your body, now you're diabetic. And it has nothing to do with size. It's the same thing I tell slim people that assume because I'm big, oh, you too, how you talk about you a trainer and you fat. All right, come on, run this 2 miles with me. And when we get before we start that, we're going to do a workout. We're going to do some calisthenics. Oh, and I'm teaching 2 classes back to back the next day. Oh, and after that, we're going to do some powerlifting at the gym the day after. Like, yo, really, don't come at me. So there is a thing about body positivity that's toxic on both ends. That people that think being skinny is okay and it's not, and the people that think being super big is not. Like I said, I love my body, and it took a long time to love my body, and that is why I eat right and I exercise now. The weight loss thing, it's a subset, and I'm really not trying to lose weight because I teach a tour class, and I'm like, shit, my ass is getting smaller. My kid the other day was like, oh man, your butt look like it's getting little. I was just like, I know. I put on my booty shorts and they was loose a little bit, and I was like, oh shit. But then I started trying to carb up, and guess what? I'm like, yo, my waist a lot. I can't fucking win. So I understand to some extent, but still, people, we gotta chill with this body positive shit and love our bodies. Like, I love my body, which is why I do good shit for it. We're not supposed to be sitting all down all day. We're not supposed to be eating bullshit all day. So with that being said, when you do good things for your body, naturally you might lose weight. Remember, there's this post about somebody saying, oh, telling people they need to lose weight is fat phobic and fat shaming. Why are you telling them they need to lose weight? Is it because they need to release some pressure off their joints? Don't forget, there are people that don't have a lot of body fat per se, but they have muscle. Like, it was the bodybuilders. Bodybuilders are fucking unhealthy. A lot of them, because they do a lot of shit to bulk up. Lots of caffeine, some of them do steroids or performance enhancers, lots of carbs and unhealthy eating to bulk up really fast. Some of them even inject themselves with the shit that make their muscles look bigger. So what happens is that because that type of shit they're doing, that distress to their body, boom, they be having strokes, they be having heart attacks. C.T. Fletcher, I mentioned him before, he had a heart attack. There's another guy that just died. Like, there's a lot of them out there, and it's the story that's not being told. And the same thing goes with Lizzo. We gotta stop enabling these motherfuckers to do this unhealthy shit. You know what I mean? And hold them accountable. With that being said, we don't got to be assholes about it. Because, like I said, when I don't teach my fitness and wellness, I don't tell people, oh, you got to lose weight, you fucking fat ass. No, I don't say no shit like that. That's ignorant. I'll say, look, these are the things that I do to stop my asthma, my allergies, my arthritis, my inflammation, my anxiety. And then, I don't even talk about the weight loss, before they know it, yo, Rose, I lost 20 pounds. See how that works? That's exactly how that works. All right, guys. I got one more thing to say before we go to the writer's reflections. Back to Aries Spears, another thing. He did say something about fried milkshakes. I was cracking the fuck up and thinking in my head, fried milkshake? I don't know, that sounds kind of hot. Because that inner unhealthy me who fed her feelings with or comforted herself with food and all this other stuff, that person was hurting. And that person was like, yeah. So, totally can get it. I understand. I can relate. Stop enabling our friends when they do toxic shit. Like, hold them accountable. Yeah, it feels like you're picking on them. You don't have to pick on them or say ignorant shit. I tell my daughter this, and sometimes it comes off mean because I am her mother. Like, I brought home some, like, juice. And I look I was like, where the juice at? I don't drink juice that often. So when I saw that it was gone, I was like, where the juice? I just coffee and water and wine. That's pretty much on that. Probably I need to cut back on those that first and last one. But I was like, where the juice at? And then she had bought a 2-liter thing of brisk iced tea came with her pizza that she ordered. I was like, baby girl, you need to kind of chill with the sugary stuff, you know. And I've told her this in the past. Like we went to Dunkin' one day and I asked her cup was in the cup holder I normally use, and I went and took a sip. Yo, I felt like I almost had went into a diabetic coma and had a cavity. I'm like, yo, and I already got enough cavity. I just got a root canal done, and now I gotta get I had a root canal, and now I gotta get it. I just got this tooth extracted and then get to doing an implant. So I know what the fuck it feels like when a cavity is starting to clog your fucking teeth. Anyway, the point was is that she was basically like, what? And she took a sip of mine, and she was like, ooh, that's nasty, because my shit is coffee or espresso, oat milk or almond milk, and a little bit of flavor. I don't want it, like, I don't do black coffee like that. I can, but I don't. So that was that. Moving along. I had to tell her, baby girl, you got to chill on the sugar. And it's not just because it's a weight thing. You got to worry about it. Child, you don't want your fucking teeth like mine. Like, yo, I got so many fucking fillings. I'm glad they don't use mercury or whatever else they used to put in cavity fillings. You don't want this life. You don't want, I done sent my dentist on a cruise. You don't want it. And I tell her that. Don't get me wrong, most of them cavities came about because she was taking all my calcium. Yes, I'm just putting my daughter under the bus today. But the point is that I had to tell her on it. I even tell my mom. And with me doing this like wellness stuff, well, damn, Nat is in here. Y'all gotta make better choices. Because I'm tired of hearing y'all complain about shit that's bothering you. When you just sat up there and heard me, you know, say, that used to bother me too. Here's this solution. And then when I tell them about these solutions, they be like, no. All right, you know what? It's your body. Your body, your choice. Then they get mad when I don't want to listen to it. And this is what happens with a lot of people in my lifestyle, in my industry, should I say. Moving along. Lizzo needs those type of people around her to hold her accountable for the things she's doing to her body. You get one motherfucking body. People be acting like that's a game. Once shit start breaking, and the good news is a lot of things are curable. Dr. Sebi shined the light on that. And that's what really got me into some of this. Now, I'm not about that Dr. Sebi life all the way. I tried it during COVID. I was like, this shit hard. I know he said about that's acidic, don't have this, don't have spinach, don't have broccoli. Like, damn, I can't have spinach, broccoli, or pineapples. No, bro, I'm sorry. Look, I'm doing the best I can. I am not about this alkaline vegan life. Yeah. So anyway, moving along. Lizzo and Aries Spears. Aries Spears is still like he's coming at females. Now he did say something very problematic on Instagram about the girls wearing makeup and eyelashes and weaves and this and that. And this is the same thing. Specifically, black women get a lot of flack for this. When in actuality, we are not the only ones that wear weaves. I'm sorry. Extensions. Fake eyelashes. Now we go overboard with these things, but we're not the only ones that do it. But it gets a light shined on us. Like, I remember one of my friends went to the hair cuttery or some hairstylist was most of the people in there were white people, Europeans, whatever, and they were getting weaves. It blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know white people get weaves. Blew my mind. It's like, what? So anyway, the point is that I don't care what a woman wears on her hair. That's something that's extra. Like, you coming at women and saying how we are about the wearing the makeup and the weaves and stuff. And I wear a weave. I wear makeup. You know what I mean? Do I wear it all the time? No. Do I need it all the time? I don't know. Sometimes I do not get an adequate amount of sleep. So, yeah, I do need makeup sometimes. It's like, no, I'm just joking. The point is that doesn't make you any less or more of a woman or fake or any of those things. I can say all the fucking shit, bring all the fucking smoke. I don't care, because it's been people say, oh, well, like one guy told me I hated myself because I had a blonde weave in my hair. And I said, is it because I have a weave? Because I've worn black dark weaves before. Is it because it's a weave or is it because it's a blonde hair? And I had to put them on it. There are some melanated people that have naturally blonde hair, and I ain't talking about people, you know what I mean, that have what's that disease? Albino people. I'm talking about fully dark skinned people, darker than me, naturally blonde hair. People have natural blue eyes, and they're just melanated. It just is what it is. So men, women, y'all, a person's weight, a person's color, a person's gender, a person's sexuality, or what they choose to identify as should not bother you. Now, going back to 2019 with Lizzo showing up the game, that shit was wrong, and I would have called anybody else on it. Although it was a Lakers game, so I'm not a Lakers fan or whatever. But the point is that wasn't appropriate to wear that. Then, if you got to get up and go to the bathroom, or you want to go to the concession stand, now you got to figure out the one and cardinal rule. Do I give you the ass or the crouch as I squeeze through? But considering you got your fucking ass out, now you got to put the... Like, bro. And I'm not knocking her for being like, shit to do with her being big. I'm big. There's certain places and times for certain things, and that wasn't one of them. Now, when I'm talking about my little twerk class, or when I'm going to a party and I got my best whole fit on, all right, cool. But would I come to work like that? Would I go to an event like that? Fuck no, that ain't appropriate. So that's all I wanted to say, and that's all I'm gonna say on this. Aries Spears, yes, I feel what you were saying. As a comedian, I think comedians should still have their right to say what the fuck they want to say. I still feel that, like, unless you go out of your way to target someone and pick on someone personally, and that's what this did feel like intentionally, because that wasn't the question that was asked, and you could have jumped on the weight wagon after you answered the fucking question. He's like, no, man, I can't get in her music, man, because I can't like somebody that's looking like a bag shit. First of all, when motherfuckers talk about Biggie, do you like Biggie? They ain't talking about the fact, and this man literally wore his size on his sleeve. It was the reason why he named himself that. That was his stage name. He didn't go out there as Christopher Wallace. He went out there as Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls. So when people ask about his music, they don't say, oh, I don't know, man, I can't get over this motherfucking fat ass. He breathing in between lyrics. He sounded like he about to have a fucking stroke. Motherfuckers used to say that all the time. Yo, he gonna have a heart attack. He gonna die of a heart attack. Well, that clearly didn't happen. The thing is that we gotta stop with shaming. We do it more so with women. We say that we don't do it with men, and men will sit up there and say, oh, women shame us all the time when we take the shirt off. But no, like, honestly, I think it's 50-50, to be honest. I just think that the shaming of women over the years has been more vocal, and now that women are taking their independence, their sexuality, their liberation and all that, and holding men accountable for a lot of stuff, you know what I mean, it's hurting some feelings, and a lot of men don't like that. Y'all gotta figure that shit the fuck out. We've always shamed women for what they wear or how they look. Are you gonna wear that? Very passive aggressive shit. When we get assaulted, we get shamed for what the fuck we wore. Like, really? That's what we're doing? But that, neither here nor there. Lizzo, I love you. I know you'll probably never hear this. I love you. I love your music. I love your talent. You are a beautiful girl. Shit, I've seen this girl without fucking makeup. Her fucking skin is flawless. So, that being said, you're a musical maestro. You have a beautiful voice. You have a beautiful spirit. She is very philanthropic, and doing things for other people. Very kind, deep. So, there is not enough words that I can say about Lizzo. However, Lizzo, you're going to have, if you want to stay in this game, you're going to have a tough skin. Keep that tough skin. Cry in a closet later at night if you have to. However, you're going to have to be accountable and start making healthier choices. Now, as a dancer myself, I know that practicing for those shows, practicing for those events, that ain't easy. And a lot of the motherfuckers that are like this big, that are saying what the fuck they gotta say about Lizzo, probably couldn't even keep up with her ass dancing, because dancing for hours on end, being on stage, that is a lot of work. I'm sure her Fitbit steps was like 20K on the day she got a show, or she got practice or whatever, and rehearsals. So we gotta chill with that. We gotta assume that because a person is big don't mean that they not doing healthy shit. She might be doing some unhealthy shit, but I know she's doing healthy shit. She's very active. That part we know. Twerking is an exercise for those of you that don't think that it is. Have some more grace. I know you young and you want to wild out. You do stupid shit. I did stupid shit. The only difference between me and Lizzo is I'm not famous, and there was no social media when I did a lot of the stupid shit when I was her age. It is what it is. Like standing there on the table at a wedding reception or some type of party and breaking the fucking table. Baby girl. Going to a Lakers game with your ass out, baby. And then this is stuff that she did a long time ago. She probably would not do that shit now. You got to think about how old. Lizzo is not that fucking old. I'm sure she learned her lesson. I'm sure she got scolded for it from somebody. And she don't need to have some motherfucker reiterate that bullshit. So, yeah, I'm bouncing back and I'm straddling the fence. He held on to that for 3 fucking years to put that out there that she went to the game naked. And a lot of people say, oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I'm glad somebody said it. Why didn't they say it fucking then? She was riding a wave much similar to this wave she riding right now. And she had already had some Grammys at that point. So why not say nothing then? Why wait until 3 years later to point that out? Especially when she kind of chilled for a bit. The girl just really started trending. And you want to bring up some old shit to prove a point? That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. Promo time. If you would like your business, your small business, to be spotlighted, I need information. Don't just say, hey, shout me out on your podcast. That's not how it works. If you would like for me to spotlight you, I need the name of the business. If I know you, then I'll just say the business is ran by X, Y, and Z. Contact information. How do people contact you? You want me to put your business out there, and they were like, well, how do I contact them? This is the name of the business. That's all I fucking know. Have contact information. Have the social media information. If you want me to spotlight you, that spotlight will be on YouTube when I air the video on YouTube. So send me some gifts, or at least send me in a place where I can copy and paste some stuff and put it out there for you. Okay? Now, for everyone else, I am spotlighting. Y'all thought I was going to lift up the t-shirt. My Love Yourself Wellness Shop. Yes, if you got problems with your knees, your back, you trying to detox, you trying to lose weight, you trying to fuck because your shit ain't getting up or your shit ain't getting wet, I got you covered. If you're feeling stress and anxiety, if you are feeling a lot of anything, you got menopause and hot flashes, I got you covered. Love Yourself Wellness Shop has so many different juices and teas and wellness items for the everyday issue. If you're trying to cut back on that sugar because, sugar ain't no fucking good for you, it's a drug, yeah, I have you covered. Love Yourself Wellness Shop. We have a website. I'm going to leave that information down below. You can click there, click the link. I do have a promo, ship for free. You get free shipping. Actually, that's if you're in Philly. I'm sorry. Free shipping is in Philly. For the folks that live outside of Philly, if you want free shipping and you spend over $70 on the site, trust me, it's easy to do that because you'll see all the good stuff. You get free shipping. But for everyone, if you are in the Philadelphia area, you get free shipping automatically. Just choose local delivery. If you choose to ship, it's going to charge you FedEx rates. So make sure you do that. Or no, USPS. The website for that is loveyourself.company.site. Again, shop with your girl. Find some good stuff that you need for your body. The inflammation juices is popping right now. And it helped me because I had osteoarthritis. I had problems with menstrual cramps. That and the detox juices are my top sellers. I literally sell out of that every week. And another third, I would say, is the immune support tea, especially COVID really sold that out a lot. And I would say the love potion because people want to have sex and they want it to be good. So, Love Yourself Wellness Shop, loveyourselfshop.company.site. Hit me up if you want some information or you want some juice. That is your promo. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Single Chronicles. Today we talked about body positivity, fat shaming, Lizzo and Aries Spears, this beef that has been propagated. Is that word? It has just been kind of exploding in social media and everything. And people have taken a side. Me, I'm kind of in the middle. And the crazy thing about it is that I can relate to either side. The only difference is I'm not musically talented. And no one questioned her. Now, there are a few people that just don't like her, so they naturally say, oh, I don't like her. I don't think she's talented. Like, you can say you don't like her music or her, I don't like country music like that. There's some country songs, but I wouldn't go so far to call myself a country fan. Does that mean that the artists that sing country music are untalented based off of my opinion of not preferring their music? No. We all are entitled to opinions. That doesn't mean we should be canceled, but it also means we should not be cruel. The thing said about Lizzo shines a weight on something that people have been ignoring in this country in particular, for a very long time. And the sad part about it is that I thought when COVID hit, and a lot of the people who were obese or had other health problems or had health problems on top of that, whatever the case might have been, they seemed to suffer the most. So there is a conversation that needs to be had about obesity and about health and wellness and fitness. So again, we have to have accountability and to stop enabling behavior, eating 7 Big Macs or a Big Mac and a McDonald's every day. That's not healthy. Eating McDonald's any day of the week is not healthy. Lizzo, I'm sure, is not completely unhealthy. She is a very active person. Every time I see something, she has a concert coming up, and looking at her concert, her schedule, it's like, okay, I'm sure she got to rehearse for each and every show. And that requires a level of fitness and activity and movement. So we're not going to sit up here and just act like she just don't do anything, healthy. That being said, if she's eating things that are not healthy, that are not conducive, and she could have other glandular disorder, thyroid issues that cause her body to not be able to metabolize properly. So whatever issues she may have that are thwarting her weight loss efforts, we can't shame her for the fact that she's not losing weight. But again, we still have to hold people accountable like her and making healthier decisions and choices that in the long term can affect you. She's young right now. She's in her 30s. She's probably not feeling it. I didn't start really feeling the life hitting me and paying me back for some of my choices until my late 30s, mid to late 30s. Now that I'm in my 40s, I'm trying to undo a lot of the activity that I did to my body. And I try to hold my friends and family accountable too. Don't do this if you want to feel better. That's why I promoted the Love Yourself Wellness Shop this week. And I know this episode went a little long. I'm sorry. That's why I'm going to keep the writer reflections short. And I'm going to close out with this. Aries Spears, he's a comedian. And comedians tend to say mean things, hurtful things. However, in that hurt and pain and anger and projection, there lies a semblance of truth. And instead of getting hung up and hurt and triggered on the stuff on the outside, the brashness of his delivery, we got to really sit there and think, maybe he is on to something, right? Obesity in this country is at levels that are astonishingly high. And it's sad because the rate of it overshadows every other country. Like, over 40% of Americans are obese. That is a scary number. And the sad part about it, and this is for adults, this isn't about kids, this is adults. And I'll say this, with health diseases, with diseases of the body increasingly going up, why wait until those things happen to make a choice to get better? Why wait till you're diabetic to cut back on sugar? Why wait until you've had a heart attack to cut back on red meats, dairies, and different things that cause heart disease or colon digestive issues? Why wait to stop drinking when you get psoriasis of the kidneys? Why wait to quit smoking when you get lung cancer? The point is that take care of your body now while it's still well. We always talk about detoxing and being healthy and making healthier choices when diseases arise, but why not just be preventative and do what's best to keep those diseases away in the first place? Okay, guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning into the Single Chronicles. We got to do better, y'all. Okay? I love y'all, and I want y'all to love yourselves. And that's why I said what I said today. I'm going to close out with this. Love yourself, people. Loving yourself starts with more than just telling yourself that. It's more than just, having a day where you make yourself feel and look pretty. It's taking care of yourself on the inside. That's why I named my company Love Yourself, because it's all about putting good stuff in your body, taking care of your body. I want y'all to do that. Shoot, I need to do it even more. I'm not even 100% there. I probably say I'm 7 out of 10, and that's no lie. It's some things that I do that are not healthy, that are quite toxic, that I probably need to, that I'm working on. But we're works in progress. Nobody's telling you to quit overnight. Just make an effort. Start. Take that step. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Be awesome. Be you. But above all else, love yourself.